Well, it's been one of the worst kept secrets in football that Everton are facing a big sanction for breaching the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. And today we found out they've got a 10-point deduction, which, if it stands, will leave Everton in 19th position in the Premier League and in the relegation zone. Now, Everton have said they'll appeal against the sanction, which is obviously one of the biggest, I think probably the biggest in the Premier League, aside from administration charges. But this is a big blow to Everton. But obviously they have a right to appeal, and they will appeal. But the appeal will have to be heard by the end of this season. So no matter what happens now, Everton will have to consider what's going to happen this season, in the sense that they will have a points deduction at some point unless they win the appeal and get it wiped out. I think the most likely scenario is that they will appeal and maybe get a reduction perhaps to 8 points, which again will be, any point counts at this stage. But considering that you've got 3 promoted teams in Luton, Sheffield United and Burnley who are really struggling to adjust to the Premier League this season, it means that Everton have got a real chance of staying up. This isn't a points deduction which leaves them, well adrift of the rest. So in terms of staying up, Everton have still got a good chance, and I think the form that they've shown in recent weeks and the Sean Dyche suggests that they are capable of getting out of the situation they're in, even with a 10-point deduction. But there's a wider picture to this, and the wider picture is Everton have been sanctioned. What happens to Manchester City? They've got 115 charges labelled against them by the Premier League for breaking profit and sustainability rules, FFP rules, over a 9-year period. So Man City have said that they vehemently deny the charges. They will fight them vigorously, but as it stands, there's 115 charges. We don't know when that's going to be heard. It's taken a long time, but when that is heard, if City are found guilty on even a fraction of the charges, if Everton have been given a 10-point penalty, that suggests that City are facing a huge sanction, and who knows what will happen then in terms of, will there be docked points, will they be fined, could they be demoted? There's so many options available to the Premier League with Man City, and while this case doesn't relate to Man City today, I think the bigger picture is the extrapolation from this is, if Everton have been fined 10 points, what happens to Manchester City when they get their day of reckoning and judgment day comes along?